Hi, Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center. Of course, today is December 2nd, and we are now in the midst of what we consider to be climatological winter, the coldest 3 months of the year, December, January, and February. So let's take a look at what we could be facing for the first half of this year's climatological winter. Of course, we're getting off to a cold start, but that will be changing here as we go through next week. Temperatures will return to above normal levels, likely will stay there the following week. So let's take a look at temperatures as we move through the last half of December and into the first half of January. And you can see that week leading up to Christmas, the EPS ensembles showing that average temperatures during that time likely will be a little bit above normal. The second week in this period, leading up to the New Year's, shows we might be a little bit more above normal as we close the new year. Heading into that first week of January, we will see the above normal temperatures continue across the area. And that last or middle week of January, from basically the 8th through the 15th, temperatures will likely stay near or above normal. So it looks like we start the winter months with above normal temperatures here as we move through the last half of December, basically the last 3/4 of December and the first half of January. Let's switch over to the rainfall aspect of things. And here, of course, we have gotten off to a rather soggy start, but that is going to change after a disturbance moves through this Thursday. We will settle into dry next week. Probably will stay that way for much of the following week, although it does appear as if we'll start to see more normal rainfall as we move into the middle and end of December. Here's a look at the rainfall projections from the EPS in the week leading up to Christmas Day. Near or slightly below normal rainfall. What is normal? In Shreveport, during a 7-day period, we get a little over an inch of rain. That being said, the last week of the year, pretty much the same thing, near or slightly below normal rainfall. As we head into the first week of January, pretty much the same thing, near or slightly below normal rainfall. And that week between the 8th and the 15th, leading into the middle of January, looks like we could start to see a little bit more rain during the middle part of January. Notice that the average rainfall in Shreveport by that time for that week, a little over an inch. So it does look like overall, if you add up all the rain from now through January 15th, the EPS ensembles indicating that we could see below normal rainfall during this 6-week period from now through the 15th of January. Shreveport receives a little bit more than 7 inches. You can see at various locations across the Arklatex, we're going to be anywhere from 5 to about 5 to 6.5 inches. So again, a bit of a dry start to the winter months. What does that mean for snow? Well, you might think if we're going to see above normal temperatures and below normal rainfall, we really don't have much chance of snow, and you pretty much would be right. You can see that looking at basically there are 50 members that make up this set of ensembles. So if you kind of consider that to be asking 50 people if they think it's going to snow, you can see the majority say over most of the Arklatex no, although we will have to watch the northern part of the area. Even if we do manage to see some from now through the middle of January, it probably won't be much. The EPS ensembles showing on average the most that we'll see, maybe 2 inches in the Queen, and if anything, maybe a dusting across East Texas and Northwest Louisiana. Now, is this set in stone? Is it going to happen this way? You got to take this outlook with a grain of salt. Another note is that recently, when we have winters with big snowfalls, those snowfalls have occurred during the month of February, during the last half of the winter months. And of course, we'll know more about what we could be facing then in the coming weeks.